Okay.
Recording. No pressure about what we're doing.
I'm going to call this meeting of the Board of Directors of Sandy Pines Wilderness Trails to order. It is June 24th, 2022. It's a few minutes after 7. The next order of business is the invocation. Scott?
Thank you. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for another great day here at Sandy Pines. Thank you for some awesome weather. Lord, just please open our hearts and our minds and give us the information and to make some important decisions here at Sandy Pines. Lord, please let us all be respectful of each other during this meeting. And Lord, just please be with us all, as some of us are dealing with some very difficult times right now. And Lord, please do something to heal this nation right now. Lord, you're the one that deserves all the glory and the grace because you're an awesome God. And we pray this all in your son's great name. Amen.
Amen.
Stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the next order of business is the roll call.
I'll take the roll call on.
Okay.
Okay. Ellen Carpenter.
Here.
Jenny Hager.
Here.
Jim Hunt. Kelly Johnson.
Here.
Dennis King. Larry Munger. Here. Paul Pepple.
Here.
Stephanie Stefano. Scott Wyman.
Here.
6 present, 3 absent.
Our next order of business is the approval of new park members from May of 2022. Jeff, could you give us the demographics for that?
I'd be happy to. All right. We had 17 total sales during the month of May. Breakout of that was 8 sales through Sandy Pines Sales Office, 7 sales through for sale by owner, and 2 transfers. And a total of 28 new members through the park. Demographics on the 28 members, 5 members are in their 30s, 13 are in their 40s, 8 are in their 50s, 1 is in their 60s, and I double checked on this one. We have a brand new member in her 80s that just bought into Sandy Pines.
Good for her. Yay. Okay, at this time, I will entertain a motion to approve these new members.
So moved. Second.
Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Our next item of business is the approval of the notes from the May of 2022 Board of Directors meeting. They've been distributed via email and at the planning session. At this time, are there any other questions or corrections to be made by the Board of Directors? I'll entertain a motion to approve the notes as presented.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, our next order of business is our finance reports. First of all, I'm going to ask for some comments from Jenny Hager, who is our Finance Committee Chair and Treasurer. Jenny?
The Finance Committee met last week, Wednesday, the 15th. We did have a quorum again. We've got a great group of people, a lot of new members and a lot of people with good ideas and good insight. And we have a great committee. We did go through the check distribution, for both the golf course and the Sandy Pines Wilderness Trails. And they were all approved. We had some discussions, questions as usual, and everything, looked good. So that was approved. And we also went through the financial statements for both entities, and they were also approved for the month of May.
Jeff, would you like to give us some information on the Sandy Pines Wilderness Trails financial statements?
Yes, I'd be happy to. First of all, Kimberly, our CFO, is not with us tonight. She was not able to make it back in time. She was on vacation with her family, so she apologizes for not being here, but she did a great job last week at the meeting with Jenny and the committee. And I'll go through her notes right now. For Sandy Pines Wilderness Trails 2022 financial statement, operating cash as of May 31, 2022 is 2.65 million, which provided days in cash reserve of 157 days. The final FEMA reimbursement of 1.068 million is expected to be received yet this month in June. For the state, and this will increase the days on cash reserve back to 217 days. Ideal protection or benchmark for an organization like ours, not for profit, is 180 days. So we'll be well ahead of that. Asset replenishment cash is 1.2 million and includes the capital asset transfer from dues for the current year. Other receivables is currently holding the FEMA reimbursement amount of 1.068. And again, that will be transferred yet this month. Confirmation was received from the state that they are processing the final steps and approving that request. Acquisitions, land improvements includes the current construction in progress cost of the golf cart bridge structure. We are still finalizing a lot of those construction items. You'll see the lights out there, and camera is actually being installed, I believe, next week. And then that should be a wrap for all of the costs for the bridge, as well as recreational courts being replaced. You'll see out at Rec, we've done a new tennis court out there. May 2022 current liabilities is at a reasonable amount of $683,000 for the year to date. Timing of the season. May 2022 net income is $1.614 million, which is $126,000 under prior year at the same point, with 1.75 million of operating revenue remaining yet to meet the not-for-profit year-end budget. Total operating income as of May 2022 is $371,000 over prior year and 19% for reaching the total fiscal budget goal of $7 million. Total operating expenses as of May 2022 is $326,000 over prior year, but 46% under the year-end budget. The Schwab investment portfolio did have a little bit of a pickup in May, which was a pleasant surprise to us, and is showing currently a year-to-date overall decline of $152,000 in the unrealized loss of the bond activity. Individual department analysis have been reviewed and provided to the Finance Committee and Board and is available to review at Sandy Pines website or posted in the administration office. And that's the summary for Sandy Pines Wilderness Trails.
Do any of the board members have questions or comments on the May 2022 financial statements for Sandy Pines? I'll entertain a motion to approve the May 2022 Sandy Pines financial statements. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Jeff, could you give us some information on the Lake Monterey Golf Course May 2022 financial statements?
Yes. May 2022 operating cash for Lake Monterey Golf Course, operating cash for the golf course is $66,000 over prior year. And hopefully some of you have been down to the golf course and seen what Larry has done down there. Excellent job with the lunches and implementing the 19-foot grill. That place has been packed. We brought karaoke back as well. And that was a seller. So great job in getting operating cash over prior year. Current acquisitions for the golf course is at $84,000 and includes the purchase of fairway equipment and replacement paving of the parking lot. May 2022 net income is $6,500 over prior year. This is, there is a decline in greens fees for the month due to weather constraints. Had a little bit of some bad weather in May, but a nice increase in food and other beverages, merchandise purchases in the clubhouse. Larry bringing many new offerings to the golf course. And that's a summary for Lake Monterey Golf Course.
Do any of the board members have questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion to approve the May 2022 Lake Monterey Golf Course financial statements.
So moved.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Jeff, could you give us a little information on the 2023 preliminary budget that's ongoing?
Yes. So we continue to do ongoing review of the 2023 budget with the finance committee and the board. This past month, we've done a deep dive on a couple of things. Mainly, we're looking at employee wages. We're seeing a lot of inflationary, as everybody else has seen out there in the market right now. So we're trying to make certain that we have good retention of good employees with proper wages. I think that's important for the organization, and we've got a great park here with a great staff. So that's really one of the priorities at the top of our list, is to make certain that we're right sizing that and rewarding and recognizing our excellent staff. And we are going through the fees as well. If you remember last year, we did some fee changes. The majority of the fee changes were to the public with camping, seasonals, things of that nature. And we did have some fees that impacted our members here. Again, we're trying to do that balance as well and not just expect our members to continue to carry the park and the organization, because we have a lot of exterior people coming into this park as well. So fees this month and wages are what we're looking at.
Okay, is that it?
Yep. that's-
Okay, thank you. I have a few comments. We hope you guys are all enjoying all these wonderful activities that our new rec department is bringing out for us. We have a lot more things going on every weekend and through the week. We're quickly approaching the 4th of July, and I want to remind you to utilize official communication. When you want to see what's going on for the 4th of July, you're going to want to check out the footprints, the official website, official social media, and of course, the weekly flyer. That's where you're going to get your best information. And unfortunately, unofficial Facebook groups are not the best place to go because you may not get a correct response. Another thing that I wanted to bring up is, with some issues in the park, we're having better enforcement, better coverage by the PSOs. But if you see something, say something. If you see an incident going on, please call the PSOs. It may seem minor to you, but it may seem major to the member that it affects. And especially things like minors driving rental golf carts. That's an immediate concern, and you should make sure that you contact the PSOs and always remember to tell them when, where, and why maybe, but at least when and where. And so they can follow up. Jeff, do you have some comments?
Yes, a couple of bullet points that I had on the agenda, and then I added a couple more from the time the agenda went out to today as things came across my desk. Number one, we're getting to the point where it's getting ready for voting time. We've got some important items on the ballot We have 2 bylaw changes that are on the ballot, and then we have 3 other items. You'll see 2 of them scrolling up on the screen here. The phase 2 pool, this is the location as where it'll be at, phase 2, overlooking the lake. And we've taken a pretty good, the original rendering. We've met with the full committee. We skinnied that down a little bit to eliminate some costs. Excuse me, meaning we had some outdoor showers. We had maybe a ramp that we didn't need that was not necessary. So we did take a look at some of the other costs there and came up with this final rendering that the full committee approved and wanted to move forward with this. We have the Spectrum Internet. So we had a town hall meeting last Friday with Spectrum Internet. Ian has done a good job with those 2 items. On the weekend flyer, you're going to get once you pull that up, there's a QR code there. And you scan that QR code, it'll have all this information out there. Again, we talked about it at the town hall for Spectrum. If you look at the proposal is roughly $8.17 more on an annual basis than what the members are paying today. Per month, excuse me. Yep. And the Spectrum gentlemen and team that were here last Friday, were very clear that our park has very outdated technology and infrastructure. And if this does not pass, if the membership chooses to vote this down, then the park will not have internet. If you're living in the condos, you do have an option to go residential, but instead of a $35.50 per month residential or fee that the park would get, condos would get, your condo rate could go up to as high as $179.99 a month. So this is an important one, and we are waiting for updated South Shore renderings as well. We've taken a look at some of the costs on that and skinning that structure down a little bit also. We should have those coming out next week. So there's going to be a lot of information. Go to the official websites. You're going to see handouts at member service. You'll see handouts at public safety. Get involved, get active, take a look at those handouts. If you've got any questions, open door policy, come ask. But then, spread the word on getting this information out. Pole station volunteers are needed. We had a great crew that has done it over the years, and they come in and said it's time to pass the torch. So that was led by Donna Adams. She had done a great job in the past, and so we're looking for some additional volunteers for the polling stations and counting votes. If you're interested, please send myself an email or Janelle, my executive assistant, an email, and we'll reach out to you and get you on the list. A couple of items that have popped up since the agenda has gone out. Back to Ellen's point, public safety, we ramped that area up, and one of them is the boats. Been out on the lake. Patty's been out on the boat on a regular basis, and part of her job is auditing boat stakes, stickers, things of that nature. She's done a great job. The majority of the members have been very compliant and saying, yep, if they don't have their sticker, it's been hey, get this done by X date and all will be good. The majority of the members are complying with that. We have 10 to 12 members that do not have boat registrations and just have flat out said, we're not going to get them. So the ramifications of that is the boats will be impounded and your boat stake will be removed from you. So we need to make certain that we're following those parameters and those rules out on the lake. We need registrations on the boats. We understand that from a out of state, I know I've had a couple of conversations with some individuals from out of state. Their registrations are delayed. There's a process for that. They're compliant. But if we have members that are just flat out saying, I'm not getting the registration and I'm dumping my boat in the lake, that can't happen. So, we're starting to get more, policing of the, not just the rules on the lake, but are you in the right spot? Do you have your stickers and things of that nature? Another item is license plates. Again, community members have done a great job getting license plates. A very similar conversation with some of the members on the license plates. We didn't like this rule. Again, this was, a rule that was passed, I believe, before my time. But it is a rule of the park. You gotta get your license plates on there. We have worked with members on the license plates as well. You get a, fix or repair, 7 days to correct. And then after that, we are starting to write tickets and being a little more stringent on that. We're going into, really, these license plates should have been the fall of 2019. And that little thing called COVID, we had a little bit of a pass, but this was really 3 years into the license plates era. We need to have, people, be compliant with that. So, public safety is starting to be a little more stringent on that as well. The last one that I have is I just want to make, again, a reminder of our marijuana policy in the park, which is, zero tolerance. So, we are a private entity. In our handbook and our rules, employee handbooks, member rule book, we follow the federal guidelines for marijuana, and marijuana is illegal from a federal standpoint. We have had some interactions with members in the park, campers, smoking marijuana, and we've asked them to either leave the park or extinguish it. And our policy is it's illegal to do that on the premises of Sandy Pines. Subject to fines, violations, and or termination of membership. So just a reminder on that as well as we start to ramp up for the 4th of July celebration. That's all I have.
Under old business, we need to make a clarification. It was pointed out, our resolution that we passed 052022C regarding the internet, the Spectrum TV and internet. When we passed that resolution, we used the terminology per member, which some people could take to say that every member is going to pay that fee. So what we're doing is I'm going to read the clarification, the new language, and then we'll vote to make that change. It's whereas the Board of Directors of Sandy Pines Wilderness Trails Incorporated proposes to place on the 2022 annual election ballot for the membership of Sandy Pines to decide by a vote on August 20th, 2022, the following. The Board of Directors are asking the membership to approve the following proposal. Shall the membership approve an annual Spectrum Charter TV and Internet assessment of $426 per membership per year for new year-round 12-month TV and Internet services, including new infrastructure and equipment, replacing the current $136 annual seasonal 6-month cable assessment and the current $192 seasonal 6-month internet fee for a period of 5 years. Assessment shall not increase more than 6% annually to cover possible increased costs from Spectrum Charter during initial 5-year period. Do any of the Board of Directors have a comment or question about this clarification? I'll entertain a motion to approve this clarification.
So moved. Support.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed signify by using same sign. Motion carries. Jeff, could you talk a little bit about the informational handouts and where they're going to be?
I think I already did that.
Yeah.
A little bit ahead of the schedule, but again, you'll see informational handouts at member service, public safety, and feel free to get copies and pass them out to your friends. and asking questions on resolutions, drawings, renderings, things of that nature. So
Okay, do you want to talk a little bit about the correction on the footprints?
I'd love to talk about correction of footprints. Last month, non-voting member that I am, or person that I am, I misstated it in regards to the wake surfing and wakeboarding is what the lake committee was going to recommend to the board as a rule for making that prohibitive on the lake. There is a difference between wake surfing and wakeboarding. Please don't ask me to explain it because I'm not a voter but there is a difference. I misstated that. And what you hear in the resolution, I believe, is the recommendation from the committee to not allow wake surfing. Wakeboarding will still be allowed on the lake. So I apologize for the misstatement in the footprints last month.
And we want to clarify that at tonight's meeting, we have comments from the audience, but we do answer the writing questions and we have questions and answers at the face-to-face, which is tomorrow at 9 to 10 in this room. Okay, under new business, we have the resolution that we discussed that we said we were going to be presenting. I'm going to read this resolution and then we'll take a vote. Resolution number 062422, resolution to amend Rule Book Handbook. Whereas the bylaws of Sandy Pines Wilderness Trails Incorporated, Article 8, Section 6E gives the Board of Directors the power to adopt, amend, rescind, and repeal rules and regulations relating to the use of Sandy Pines property and the conduct of its members and their guests. Whereas Lake Monterey, the lake, is part of Sandy Pines property and a valuable natural resource that historically has been subject to rules and/or regulations promulgated by the Board of Directors, the Board of Sandy Pines. Whereas the board has appointed an official Lake Study Committee, the committee, to review, present options and recommendations to preserve, protect, and sustain Lake Monterey, being the #1 recreational asset at Sandy Pines. The following temporary rule presented by the committee was approved and effective June 2021 by the Board of Directors vote 6 yeas and 3 nays. A, effective immediately, temporarily suspend the ballast functions and the usage of the ballast functions or any alterations to any boat trying to produce waves for wake surfing for the 2021 season. The committee continues to review research impacting lakes and monitor the lake to determine next steps in preserving, protecting, and sustaining Lake Monterey, as well as the positive and/or negative effects of this temporary suspension. Whereas the Lake Study Committee provided findings, results, and information to the board in May 2022 to determine the following rule change and/or addition. Article 13, Watercraft Regulations, Section F, Watercraft Rules and Regulations, subsection 19, water skiing, pulling tubers, and wake surfing. Item H, usage of the ballast function or any alteration to any boat for the purpose of producing waves for any activity is prohibited. All wake surfing is not permitted. The above addition replaces the temporary ballast ban established during the 2021 season. Whereas the Board of Directors for the Health, Safety, and Welfare of Sandy Pines and its property, including Lake Monterey, believes it is in the best interests of Sandy Pines, its members, and its assets to amend and clarify the rules and regulations to adopt in full the foregoing recommendations from the Lake Study Committee. Accordingly, the Lake Study Committee recommendations are adopted in full, incorporated herein, and made part of the rules and regulations of Sandy Pines. The park president is directed to make these rules and regulations part of the Sandy Pines Handbook as amended. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Directors of Sandy Pines Wilderness Trails Incorporated does hereby approve the following amendments and additions to the rules and regulations relating to ballast boats and wake surfing on Lake Monterey. Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of Sandy Pines Wilderness Trails Incorporated does hereby approve the above resolution. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Are there any questions on the motion? Jeff, would you like to do the roll call? We also have 3 absent members and we gave them the opportunity to vote on this. They reviewed it ahead of time and they had the opportunity to vote via email.
I'll have you open, those are the absentee ones.
Okay.
Automatically sealed. We'll do the roll call. Ellen Carpenter,
Yes.
Jane Hager,
Yes.
Kelly Johnson,
Yes.
Larry Munger. Yes. Paul Pepple,
Yes.
Scott Wyman,
Yes.
Jim Huff,
That's the last one for us. Jim Huck votes yes.
Dennis King,
Dennis King votes yes.
Stephanie Sipana,
Stephanie votes no.
motion carries, 8 affirmed, 1 nay.
Okay, our next order of business is the results of the Board of Directors nominations petitions. 3 petitions were received and approved. They go through and make sure all the members are in good standing and there's enough. So the 3 people that were nominated are Ellen Carpenter, Paul Pepple, and Bob Deckinga. Do we have any questions from the board?
What was the last name?
Deckinga, Deckinga. I'm pronouncing that right, Bob? Okay. Okay. I'll entertain a motion to accept these certified results of the petitions.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify same sign. Motion carries. Okay, the next portion of our meeting is member comments, and we'd like to answer questions at face-to-face. If you have a comment, we'd like you to, is there a microphone or should I hand it
There is a
in?
microphone in the back,
In the back.
the chair in front of the folder. If you want to just push the button. Green means on, and you're more welcome to ask any other question.
Any question, make comments?
Or I'm sorry.
Make comments.
We'd like your name and site number too for the record.
Kevin Likings, site 251. First of all, thank you for the clarification on waste stripping and boarding. That was a bit concerning state, and I appreciate the clarification. Second of all, I just wanted to make a comment that I would like to make it possible for the board and or lake committee to provide a little bit more information on what they're talking about, specifically around boat size, motor size, length of boat. We still allow 24-foot pontoons on the lake. And last month, we have information that says the wake that they create is just the same as a wake boat. So now, in essence, you have a 24-foot speedboat out there with some of these pontoons and the size of the motors that they have, where we only allow a 20-foot speedboat, which can have, for inboard, outboard, a much smaller wake. So that's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll try to direct you to more information or
I can't hear.
we'll try to direct you, here it's on. We'll try to direct you to more information. There is some information on the website under lake study.
Elizabeth Millman, L390. I was wondering, hoping that when the spectrum goes out, the towers and equipment like that will also be running by the towers, the grid boxes with all of course would be removed because they're in the way of it. And I don't know about the people going from them all over the place. And I was also wondering if they are the new company, I think I said that backwards. But anyway, the new company, is going to bury cables when they put that stuff in, or lay them on top, or what?
We can look into that.
One additional comment on that is Spectrum has confirmed they will do another town hall here. We're finalizing that date. It will be Friday night, July 15, or Saturday morning, July 16, 9 to 11, similar to face to face. So if you do have additional comments or questions for the Spectrum individuals, we'll have another town hall in July. Thank you.
I think my battery is done. Anyone else? Goodness, I think my battery is done. Larry, can I have your microphone? Can you finish this off so we can hear?
That was a hint.
Yeah. Thank you for all of your comments. You have any questions? Be sure to come back tomorrow at 9 o'clock and we'll have face-to-face and some good interaction. Thank you for coming. The next order of business is the adjournment of the meeting. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody want to make, okay, yes.
Support.
All those in favor of adjourning this meeting signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Shortest meeting ever.